This is CTV News made for students by students.
Tonight on CTV, we look at Jack Graham and his search for a new basketball coach and the latest on the possibility of a new stadium.
We also have your spring football update as well as some possible position battles.
And bad blood between former Rockies pitcher Ubaldo Jimenez and the Rockies. CTV starts right now. What a game, Ryan.
It's really good. I'm telling you, he gets all his power from the brow.
He does, the
All right,
brow.
Sorry, folks, we're watching the
Beer
National
the brow.
Championship right now. Tonight is the night. Kentucky is currently leading 31-19. How many think they're going to hold on?
I think they will. I mean, just watching Anthony Davis beast down below, I think they got this in the bag.
Oh,
Kentucky
yeah.
national champ.
You know what? Yeah, it's definitely going to be Kentucky. I had them winning.
All right. In spite of the announcement of Craig Smith as the interim head coach of the men's basketball team, athletic director Jack Graham has already started the search for a new basketball coach using the $350,000 paid out by Nebraska to hire JMI Sports, a search firm to find a replacement for Miles. Graham said he'll be having scheduling meetings with potential new candidates. As many as 75 are rumored to be possibilities, and the firm is said to help lower that number when interviewed what he's looking for. He said, "We're looking for talent. The level of caution we would have with a coach without head coaching experience would be very high." Head coach Larry Eustachy of Southern Mississippi, was Conference USA's Coach of the Year, is rumored to be on that list. And a high-profile coach in Tony Benford, the associate head coach of Marquette, who made it to the Sweet 16 and beat Murray State, the same team that knocked off our Rams in the first round. But not last least, Steve McClain, assistant head coach for the Indiana Hoosiers out of the Big Ten Conference. He managed 321 seasons over in those Wyoming lands up north of us. Spent some time in Boulder, he knows the area. From a top basketball conference, could be flying under the radar because of the assistant coach status.
All right, with the help of a consulting group, CSU has pinpointed 5 locations for a possible new on-campus stadium. See here on the map, the first on the left of the map would potentially replace Ingersoll Hall. The second, those 3 grouped in the middle of the map, would be around the Pitkin-Meridian intersection. The last section on the right side of the map would be just west of the railroad tracks on Pitkin Street. Now, though there is no scientific proof of any correlation between an on-campus stadium and football team wins, Jack Graham is hoping that a new on-campus stadium will help the team move forward in its bold new era.
As of right now, there is only one word to describe the CSU baseball club team and the CSU lacrosse team, and that is hot. The baseball team is on a 10-game win streak after sweeping the UNC Bears this past weekend, improving their record. Led by pitchers Travis Childs and Zach O'Farrell, the two have been on some serious hot streaks. The lacrosse team is now 11-1 on the season after beating number 2 club-ranked UC Santa Barbara. Austin Fisher led the attack by scoring 5 goals, while sophomore goalie Jack Regan nabbed a career-high 11 saves. The baseball team's next games are this weekend as they take on our rival, the CU Buffs, down in Boulder. And for the lacrosse team, their next match is April 7th against conference leader BYU at Shea Stadium over in Highlands Ranch.
All right, coming up after the break, I will be heading over to the Sports Corner where I will be joined by Kayla Ertl, and we will have the latest on spring football.
And later in the show, Reno Boyd joins us for a little whiteboard action.
I'm pumped.
School's back in session, Ryan. We'll be right back.
Bring out the action hero in you. Be part of the greatest action movie ever. Show us how you train and eat like an action hero. Join in at actionheroalliance.com.
Welcome back to CTV Sports. It's now time for your spring football update. Coach Mack is all about bringing changes to the bold new era of Rams football, and those, of course, include position changes. John Frolin, who played 9 games at defensive tackle last year, has now been moved to defensive end in what is likely to be a 3-4 defensive scheme. Frolin says the change has been a little weird, but he believes he will be able to make the change this spring and be ready to play this fall. For more football talk and position battles, let's send it over to Ryan and Kayla to break down 2 positions, quarterback and offensive lineman, for our spring football position breakdown. Take it away, team.
Welcome to our football spring training breakdown. I am now joined by Kayla Erdl. This new segment is where we will be breaking down week to week different positions on the football team and who we think are going to start. We're going to start with quarterback and offensive lineman. Kayla, let's start with quarterback. 4 quarterbacks on the roster entering spring training or the spring camps. But the 2 that stand out, MJ McPeak, Garrett Grayson. Who do you think is going to start this year?
Well, you know, there's been a lot of changes with Coach Mack already, and players are getting a lot more reps at practice as he's letting everyone, battle for their position. So I definitely think it is going to be quite the battle for the QB spot, as you said, between Grayson and McPeak. But basing it off of last year when Grayson took over for Pete Thomas, I definitely think he proved that he can be efficient in the starting spot. So I think he's definitely going to start. One of his most notable games last season was against Wyoming, where he rushed for 91 yards and nearly became the first QB since Bradley Van Pelt in 2003. The 100-yard rushing game. He stepped up for Thomas. We saw that he has great scrambling outside the pocket. His first career start at TCU, he had 5 first downs and 53 yards on only 8 carries. And, so we can see he's really versatile in that position. So I think he's taken the spot.
Yeah, but this is Coach Mack, so you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
No.
But I agree. I think Garrett Grayson will be the starting quarterback when it comes around. All right, now it's time to talk offensive linemen. Kayla, what's going on there?
All right, well, we saw last year the O-line has had a huge struggle. They gave up a ton of sacks. Grayson stepped in. Let's bring him up again. He was the first QB since Thomas to not be sacked in 23 games. So,
impressive.
yeah, that says a lot. So, the main player we're looking at in this position, returner Weston Richburg, he's 6'4", 302. He was nominated for the Remington Trophy last season. And, he's projected to stand up and lead this squad. But Coach Mack is really enthusiastic about this position because he's called for students to come in, be the big man. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, to see if a student comes in, a walk-on, or, if these guys are stepping up because they're seeing that Coach Mack is enthusiastic about the team this year and wants to win.
Well, I think all the enthusiasm comes from a little, hesitation. Like, he might have seen how fragile our offensive line was, and so he might be a little scared, and he just wants depth right now.
Yes.
Weston Richburg, a great guy to build around. But thank you for joining us. I'll
Yes,
see you next
definitely.
week with more position battles. And then let's send it back over to Ryan Hillman.
Thanks, Ryan. Coming up, Reno Boyd and I are ready to go to school. Schoolie Ryan on the old-fashioned whiteboards, and we'll share our thoughts on the Rockies and Jimenez drama. Don't miss anything. Don't be tardy. We'll be right back.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back from the break. We're whipping out the whiteboards as we got Ryan Green and Rito Boyd up here. We're for our sports write-up. It's time to get entertained, folks. We're playing musical chairs up here like you can see.
Yep.
I'm joined now by Ryan. You already met him. And the sports guru from Thursday night, Reno Boyd. Thanks for coming in. You guys, class is now in session.
All right.
And get those whiteboards out because you're teaching sports 101. I have 3 questions for you. Give me your answer. Give a short explanation. If you go too long, I'm going to tell you to shut it.
All right.
Keeping everything in
Calm
line.
down. We'll be
So
all right.
grab your markers. Let's get started. Question 1. The Nuggets are currently sitting at 7th place in the Western Conference with 13 games remaining in the season. The Avalanche are in 9th with 2 games left in the season. Will both teams make the playoffs? Either or will neither? Reno, start us off.
Okay, Ryan, I'm going to have to say no. I don't think that both teams will make it. The only team I see making it right now is the Nuggets. The Avs, they got 2 games left on the schedule. If they want to make it into the playoffs, not only do they have to win both of those games, but they also have to have some other teams lose as well. So I just don't see it happening for the Avs right now. However, the Nuggets, they're looking very good. The only thing that they are doing is they're not playing that well at home, but they've done very well on the road. So I think if they can continue to do well on the road, get the games they need to, they're going to sneak into the playoffs.
All right, Ryan, take it away.
Wait, you asked if both teams will make it?
Both teams.
Ha! No, I'm sorry. The Avs, like Reno said, a lot of things have to happen in those last 2 games for them to get in. So, unfortunately, I don't see them making it. But the Nuggets, I could definitely see them making it. They're sitting at 7th right now, and I think they may be the only NBA team where they play to the level that the team that they are playing is at. And so if we make it to the playoffs, we'll be having a good push throughout the playoffs where we've seen some great basketball from the Nuggets. But if we play some crappy teams down the stretch of the end of the season, I don't see us making it. I see us losing a couple games, and we'll definitely fall out of that 7th position. You know, it's not the best position to be at, but right now I do think they'll make it to the playoffs with that 7th spot.
You guys know I love Nene, and we lost him, but JaVale McGee, I think, good replacement. And you got to love the way Ty Lawson is playing right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, question 2. Yesterday during spring training, there was a little, let's just say, an unhappy trooper. Ubaldo Jimenez, that is. Ubaldo, former Rockies player, now with the Cleveland Indians, threw at Rocky star Troy Tulowitzki. Tulo was sent to the hospital. X-rays are negative, and he should be good to go for opening day. Rockies manager Jim Tracy had this to say about the incident. It is the most gutless act I've seen in 35 years of professional baseball. I have lost all respect for him. You guys, strong words right there.
Yeah.
So the question is, after this incident on Sunday, will the Colorado Rockies and the Cleveland Indians be rivals? Ryan, take away.
I'll start this one. Ubald, no. They're not even in the same league right now. They're not in the same division. I think you have to play teams a lot during the year to become a rivalry. I don't think a player-and-player rivalry will make it a team-to-team rivalry. So, no, I do not think the Rockies and Indians will be a rivalry. That's it.
Reno?
Yeah, I agree with Ryan on this one. I said absolutely not. You have to agree with him. The Rockies don't even play Cleveland this year, so there's no possible way there. We got to remember this is just one player. If anything, I think you're going to have a lot of Rockies fans that maybe root for Ubaldo not to do that well this season, but I don't think it's going to create a rivalry. We got to remember this is a guy that plays once every five games. It's not going to create. I think it's all over now.
Okay. All right, and last question of the night. Real quick, guys. Will the Rams be dancing next year for 2 years in a row?
Okay, I'll start. I'm not even going to write this one down, but of course they're going to make it. This team got to the NCAA tournament with the team they have now, and they will be gaining Bejarano and Iverson, 2 very, very capable players. And so, yes, I definitely think they'll be making it, and they'll be going past the first round this year.
Yep. Reno, real quick.
Yeah, I think so. I think they have the most talented backcourt in the Mountain West. Not only do I think they're going to go to the tournament, I think that they're going to compete for the conference title.
All right, well, thank you, guys. Reno, always good having you up here.
Love to
That's
be
it
here.
for us tonight. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Let's take it to Haley in the Weather Corner now.
If you're looking for a new pet, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are full of healthy and loving pets, eager to become a part of your family. To find out more, you can visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hey guys, I'm Haley Pennington with your weekly weather update. Coming off from a gorgeous and sunny weekend, this week is going to be a little different. Wyoming is going to bring us some snow and some sleep up in the border area and the Fort Collins area. But be very careful. You're going to go to Greeley. It's going to be 35 to 50 miles per hour with winds and a little bit of sleet and snow. A little wind warning for you guys. Now let's see how the rest of your week will be. Here's your 7-day forecast. Get ready to put on your rain boots because we have a 40% chance of rain for Tuesday throughout the day, being overcast and breezy, with a high of only 51 degrees. But don't be too upset. We will have our sunny, clear skies for Wednesday and the rest of the week, with highs being in the 70s and lows going down to the 20s. Going into the Easter weekend, it's going to get a little chilly, with highs being in the 60s and lows in the 30s. So you may want to bundle up with a light jacket for those Easter egg hunts. That's all I have for you. Thanks for watching. I'm Haley Pennington. See you next week for your weekly sports update. Have a great night.
Students are responsible for all CTV content, therefore they bear responsibility for the decisions they make. CTV is not an official program of Colorado State University, but is produced by an independent, nonprofit corporation using the name CTV pursuant to a license granted by CSU.